Chiefs fans, welcome inside the Chiefs 65 Toss Power Trap Studios for our Coach's Corner. With us, well, Chiefs defensive coordinator Romeo, Crennel, a guy who saw the Chiefs reclaim the AFC West Championship last season in his first season and saw the Chiefs improve in a number of defensive categories. First off, thanks for joining us, Romeo.
Thanks, Josh. My pleasure.
I got to ask, when you first got here, January 2010, first started seeing that game film of the Chiefs, what did you see when you put it in the tape deck?
Well, you know, they were running a different system than I used. So the thing that I was concerned about is looking at the guys on tape to see what basic football ability that these guys had. You know, could they shed blocks? Could they cover somebody? How did they tackle? What kind of effort did they have? You know, so those are the kind of things I was looking at. And, you know, they have those kind of abilities. I really didn't look at the results that much because I'm not going to be using that system. My system was going to be different, but I did want to know if they were defensive football players, you know?
Well, 1 year into your system now, you can put that tape in and you see them running what you called. You have a better idea of what they were asked to do. What do you see when you put the tape in now?
I see them trying to do what they're coached to do. You know, we don't always do it successfully, but overall, I thought this past year was a good year for us. I thought defensively we made good progress. You know, we had an influx of young players that came in and helped the team. And then with the veterans that were on the team, some of them had really good years for us. And so I thought that it was good all around.
Is being a defensive coordinator after being a head coach any different than when you were a defensive coordinator before you were a head coach?
Well, not really. You know, I guess the difference is after you've been a head coach, you know, as a head coach, you have to look at the big picture. You have more responsibilities. And as a coordinator, you're only concerned about the defensive side of the ball. You don't have to worry about the offense or special teams or any of those other headaches that the head coach has. And so it's kind of refreshing, you know, after being a head coach to come back and be a defensive coordinator and concentrate more on football.
Take us back to your time in Cleveland. What were some of the things you learned as a head coach that help you today now as you've returned to a coordinator role?
Well, you learn a lot of things as a head coach, but probably the biggest thing is dealing with the offense and the offensive personnel on a regular basis, you know, because I've always dealt with the defensive guys, and you know, you joke and kid with the offensive guys, but as a head coach, you deal with those offensive guys on a more regular basis, and so then you begin to understand some of the decisions that the head coach makes during the course of the game and how it impacts the defense. So now I can kind of anticipate some of those things and be ready for it when it happens.
Coach, when I talk to players, they always speak so highly of you, and it doesn't matter if it's a 10-year veteran or if it's a rookie. You're connecting with these guys regardless of their different backgrounds, how many years they've had in the league. What's the secret to being able to connect with guys with such different personalities?
They want someone who will treat them fairly, be honest with them, and then care about them. And then, so I think that's the thing that the players feel that I do, that I'm fair, that I'll tell them the truth, and that I do care about them and I want them to do well, and I think that they understand that and realize that.
You're truthful, you're fair, so give us a typical setting inside Romeo Crennel's offices when you're reviewing some game film.
Oh, when I'm reviewing game film now, sometimes I'm not as fair in that situation. No, you know, when we're in there, and see, generally the players are not in my meeting room. The players are in the big meeting room. And then when we're all in there together, you know, hey, if a guy makes a mistake, I point it out that he's made a mistake. I'm tougher on the defensive linemen because I used to coach a defensive line. I'm tougher on those guys than the rest of the team, and they accuse me of playing favoritism because they say I don't get on the other positions as hard as I get on those guys. But I know that they're the foundation of this defense, and so I'm going to make it tough on those guys. But I think that they understand the scheme as they've learned and adapted. And so we have some good things to say in that room, and then there are some things that maybe are not so good. But we all get through it and try to get better.
Oh, you and your family have been here over 1 year now. So what are your thoughts of Kansas City in general? You guys enjoying your time?
Oh, yes, we are. We think Kansas City is a nice place to live. And, you know, in this business, football business, most of my time is at the complex and there in my office. But when we do get out, people are very nice, and the nice areas nice things, museums and things like that. So in my limited time that I've been able to get out in Kansas City, I've enjoyed it and look forward to enjoying more of it.